Hello everybody and welcome back. Is that going to be too loud? Yeah, let's go ahead and bring that down just a little bit. I'm constantly in between this where I think it's too loud and I think you don't get to hear anything that goes on in the background. Anyway. Hello everybody and welcome back to Satisfactory with me, your host Parallax. The last time that we were together, which wasn't that long ago for me. I think I played this game yesterday night. We got this whole situation up and running, and I was super happy with what I had accomplished. I see that all that up there is green, which to me just means that we're doing everything right. Unfortunately, we are in kind of a problem here. These guys are going to produce so much fuel eventually that they won't be able to take on all the fuel that they're producing. What do I mean by that? I mean that this guy is operating. It says it's at 62% efficiency, but I'm pretty sure that's going to keep climbing. That's idle. Interesting. How are we not? How are we not producing? You know what? I think it needs to fill up. I think that's the problem. I think it's just taking a while for these things to make that heavy oil residue. I mean, they're running green. They're running at 100%. Yeah, they're running at 100%. It's just going to take a while for these things to build up head pressure. You know what I mean? Like maybe starting all the way here at the end of the pipe. It needs to 7.2, 7.3, 7.2, 7.3. I'm not seeing 7.4 yet. 7.4. That was the first time I saw 7.4. 7.4. Let's see, 7.5. I know this is kind of a weird thing to do, but we have to keep watching. 7.5. There it is, 7.5. So when we first started observing, we didn't see 7.4, and we surely didn't see 7.5. So what I'm trying to say here is that this pipe is very, very, very slowly filling up. And when this pipe does fill up, when it does get to 9.7, that right there won't be running at a deficit. Like that one will be running. Ooh. Or will it? Hold on. So this is at 30 a minute? No, that's how much it's using. It produces 10, and there are 7 of them, so it produces 70. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It produces 70, and then this one uses 60. Okay, so no, we are not going to get 100% of those two. I was afraid that we weren't going to be able to get rid of all the fuel, and that over time we were going to back up. But perhaps this is going to get rid of all the fuel. Because when I did the computation in my head, these things only use 12. Right? This only uses 12, and this one produces 40. So in my head, I was like, oh, this produces 80. So we have to have so many more to eat up that 80 that they're producing. But these aren't producing 80. We're only barely, we're going to get 80 out of one machine, or we're going to get 40 out of one machine, and then we're only going to get, if it needs 60 and it's only getting 10, that would be a sixth of what it wants. So what is a sixth of 40? Let's figure out what a sixth of 40 is. Calculator. That would just be 40 divided by 6. So we're only going to get 6 out of it. So we're going to get 6 plus. So we're going to get 46 fuel. We're going to get 46 fuel out of this. And right now we have 12, 24, 36. So we need one more of these machines. We need one more of these gas generators to use up all the gas that eventually will come up into the system. And even then, fuel, excuse me, not gas, fuel. And even then, the possibility exists that, or even after that, we're going to be running at a deficit. Where is, there it is, perfect. Can you connect to that one? You cannot. Can I upgrade you? Cannot. Can I upgrade you to a Mark III? I cannot. I don't have any pass-through cables. Well, that's unfortunate. I'll have to run you there to that guy then. Where there's a will, there's a way. Here we go. So now, and some of these are going to turn on and off, right? Like we're never going to have enough, or we're not going to have enough fuel for all 4 of them to run at the same time, but we always want the plastic to come out. Like we don't want the plastic to stop. Right? And all of these should be running at near 100% efficiency. Yeah, that one's 100%, that one's 100%. That's 100, and that's really what we want. That's what we care about. We care about the plastic. Okay, perfect. And now we at least want a stage 7 here. So let's just kind of fly along here and let's make sure. Well, fly along for what we could. And we at least want to make them stage 7. If they're stage 2, if they're a Mark 2, I'll probably lower them back down to this Mark. If they're a Mark 4 or Mark 5, I probably will lower them back down to Mark 3, just because I don't need. It doesn't need to be quick, right? We're not transporting that many, as you can see here. If it was a question of them being completely saturated, then of course I would, but that's just not the case here. All right, so having done that, I am pretty convinced that that whole area out there is done, and I don't need to worry about it. I think it'll be self-sufficient. It generates power. It gets rid of its it gets rid of its waste. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. And it's bringing in tons more plastic. I mean, this right here is, combined with what we already have, this is enough plastic, I think, to make 2, maybe 3 computer makers. We'll have to see when we get out there. And of course, we can always shut off production on some of the circuit boards, because we have a ton of circuit boards. So it might be that we'll just turn off 1 or 2 of those, and we'll convert them over to computer makers. Because it doesn't make sense to have 50,000 circuit boards when we only have like 9 computers, right? And we need to go see what our new recipe is, and we have another hard drive to put in. So it was a great little trip. We got a lot of good stuff out of that, and that didn't take very long at all. Did not take very long at all to get the to get that plastic set up. Is this backed up? It's already backed up. Look at that. Look at that. It is backed up. Ooh. That's awesome. Okay. Usually you don't fall off when you're upgrading them. I don't know how I did that. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. Oh, that goes through. Wow. About destroying your realism there. Yeah, so sorry if I move too quick, or I jerk things around too often. Like, I know that when you're watching someone play, that can be very disorienting. Like if you're the one playing, like your eyes, you're already kind of affixed. You know, there's communication between your brain and your eyes. For watching it is quite disorienting. I do apologize for that. I try to stay up here on the hover deal as much as possible, because I feel like that kind of alleviates that problem. I feel like you can't jerk around too much. And you have like a very clear picture about what's happening. Okie dokie. Wow, look at that. We have a ton of plastic now. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's I think what I'm going to do. What are you waiting on? You're waiting on circuit boards? You're waiting on circuit boards? I just talked about how we had such an excess of circuit boards. How are you possibly waiting on them? Tons of extra computers. Wow. I just got done talking about how we had so many excess circuit boards, and now here I am complaining that I don't have enough. Am I using circuit boards somewhere else? See, the circuit boards are backed up there. This is waiting for quick wire. I feel bad about that because that quick wire is, I mean, we're making a lot of it, but at the same time, we're just not making enough. Not till the AI limiters are done. And we really don't need that many AI limiters. We have so many right now. Let's just do this. We're going to let that back up. We're going to let the AI limiters back up. That's going to give some relief, or that's going to let us build something else besides AI limiters, even though we have a lot of them. We'll let that back up for right now. Oh, boy. Well, the good thing is, with as many plastics and copper, we can expand production out of circuit boards. Yeah, we can definitely expand that out. But I really want to focus on getting the computers moved to the factory above, and then I want these guys to focus on making those adaptive control units. You know what? It's not going to make sense to focus on that if we can't get production of those squared away. There we go. That's out. Wonder how many more now we can do. 3 more? Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Need that. I need that. I've been watching the Walking Dead. Oh no. Oh no. That stinks. That stinks. Why you have to be there, buddy? Why you have to be there? Will you go away if I do that? Oh, we're gonna need a 2-meter foundation one. So funny that, oh, you can't. I was gonna say, so funny you can't put it on top of it. There we go. Been watching The Walking Dead. Just to put it out of its misery. I started watching it a long time ago, like everybody else. I really enjoyed it, like everybody else. And then I feel like the show really kind of jumped the shark. And I know that they had a lot of people leave the show because their acting careers were kind of taken off. Like, I get that. And I'm super happy for those people. I really am. But it didn't have the same layer that it did before, unfortunately. I really kind of enjoyed that they would kill people off. I kind of felt like it was another Game of Thrones in that aspect. And then very slowly, it just turned into like them not killing off characters and characters becoming more convoluted and doing things that didn't make sense. And then, of course, they fell into that whole trope of like, I'm going to murder 50,000 bad guys, but when it comes to murdering the one big bad guy, I'm not going to do it because that would make me just as bad as you. And I understand what they're trying to say. I understand that they're trying to show that like killing isn't like the best thing to do like all the time, but they did like murder a bunch of other bad guys, you know, and it just, I don't know. I guess you know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to say any names because I don't want, like, if you're still watching it, then I don't want to ruin it for you. But there's just a couple of people that I'm like, why? Why is this person not being brutally beaten by everybody who has been in the group for the past, you know, year? Because this person has a horrible life philosophy. He has a horrible track record. He's done nothing. He's done nothing that would warrant pity, you know? But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, people say the same thing with James. I'm gonna talk about Game of Thrones because Game of Thrones is dead to me, and if you're still watching Game of Thrones, I'm sorry. I don't mean to ruin your stuff, but Jaime Lannister from Game of Thrones is the exact same way. That was somebody who I didn't like at the very beginning. I didn't like him in any of the other books. I didn't like him in the television show. And I know that they were like, "Oh no, 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 he's got like such a bad backstory, and you don't understand." That's like I don't. I appreciate the effort that the writer goes through to try and like write an interesting character. Oh, look at that! I put one of those right over the top of that, and I needed it to go right there, right there, snap it right there. Like I appreciate the writer's attempt and everything. Oh no, 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 they don't go. They don't do that. Um, it goes up one. There we go. It goes up one. That one won't even go there. I don't know if I can make that work. I'll try. But no, I appreciate the writer's effort, and I love the idea that they want to show that the world is complex, not everything is black and white. I get that, but at the same time, I don't have to buy into it. I can still hate a character because they're trash, and I don't know, like if they pay for their crimes, that's one thing. Like there always should be a way forward for redemption arcs. Like that's cool, but you can't have somebody be an insanely horrible person and then their redemption arc be that like they hang out like okay, so if the person is an insanely horrible person, but when times are good, like when people who are nice talk to them and they treat them well and they respect them, and the person's like, wow, this is a much better way to live. Like I want to live like this now. It's like yes, that's what everybody who you murdered was trying to tell you while you were murdering them, is that there's a better way and that you shouldn't be a horrible person. And you laughed at them, like it's kind of hard for me to like buy into that the person like when things are good, they're good, and when things are bad, they're bad. And that they get to go back and forth between their two personalities depending on what's best for them at the time. Anyway, it's hard for me to put that into words when I'm trying to play and everything else. So I'll stop. Long story short, The Walking Dead, putting it out of its misery. I'm just watching it just to be done with it. I watched Kenobi, and I'm done watching Kenobi. I I don't I don't like where things are going with some YouTubers who talk about like male masculinity is under attack and you have to like take back the things that belong to you and like I mean I wouldn't say they're opposing this social justice warrior thing. I don't even know if that's real, but they definitely are pushing it as like everybody is taking from men and like breaking down our heroes because they don't want us to have heroes anymore because they want those heroes to belong to like another group of people. I don't know how to say it. I mean that's pretty much it though, right? I mean one guy that I used to watch, he was super mad because they gave Rey, Luke's X-wing. She had the Millennium Falcon. Hey, look at that. That one's not hooked up. That one wasn't hooked up. That one wasn't contributing. But he was very mad at all that stuff. And like she had Chewbacca and C-3PO and R2-D2, and did that really? Can you only hold like one? Huh. I thought there'd be like 200 in there because it had made so many. We might need to upgrade the throughput here. You know what I mean? I see a slow one right there. You see it? Is that slow too? Look at that. It's stopping. It's stopping for a moment because there is a slow part over here. It's done that thing before where the belt isn't the right speed on the inside of the splitter. Watch this. We're going to rip this splitter out and it's going to be a... Yeah, right there it is. See it? There's a level 1 belt right there in the middle. Something's going on here. Hold on. No, hold on. We don't want that right now. Go away. Trying to figure this out. There we go. Now. There's still, it's just hinky. We're going to rip that out. Rip that out. We go from 7 to there. Lovely. And then we'll put the splitter in here. Just like that. So the Kenobi, there was a guy who, and I think he made a very strong point. Now it's not going forward. You have to give me a second here. I can't do all this at one time. Do that right there in the middle. And that's going through at the right speed, and it's feeding into that, so that looks good. Perfect. Okay, so I'm kind of done with Kenobi, and the reason is because this guy who like I said, I don't believe in the whole social justice warrior thing. Like I don't really care one way or the other. Like if they want to give Luke Skywalker's X-Wing and R2-D2 and all that to Rey, that's fine. They paid money for it. They can do what they want. I either enjoy the movies or I don't. I'm not going to have like a whole commentary on it. But I stopped watching Kenobi because it was pointed out, the Critical Drinker on his website, that sometimes they'll take a character that you like and they'll say like, hey, you're going to have an Obi-Wan Kenobi series. And you're like, cool. But then they bring in another character and they make that character the focal point of the story. And the Obi-Wan Kenobi isn't quite the focal point. They're just kind of there to serve as a catalyst, maybe, or as a counterpoint to the new character they want to show. And they're saying that with the I don't know her character's name. Third sister, I think, is what they call her in the TV show. But they were saying that it's her story, and that Kenobi is just kind of there. And I haven't seen the third episode. I've only seen the first and second. But it kind of makes sense because she is kind of a big role. Are we already out? Look at that. We are already out of the copper rolls. We might have to start bringing copper rolls in on the train. That might be the third thing that we do. Because I know there are a ton of copper sheets being made in the other base. Yeah, let's go down there and get that prepped. We're going to start exporting their copper rolls up here. Just for fun. Okay. I hope we have enough to build a train station down there. Let's look right quick. Oh, let's hop off the train and look right quick. Do we have enough to build a train station? Freight platform is what they're called. It looks like we do. It looks like we do. Anything that we need down there, I'm sure we can manufacture it. We barely have enough motors to do it. We have 122 motors and we need 120. And that's for, of course, two refineries, an industrial fluid buffer, 6 fuel generators. So there's a lot of things there that we don't need to have on the to-do list anymore. But this will be good because we need to go down the other base and we need to make sure that the aluminum production is going strong and all the other jazz. And when we get down there, we'll turn this thing off from self-driving. We'll hook up the copper sheets, and we'll start importing copper sheets from down there. Which I don't think we're even using the copper sheets. I think the copper sheets are just going into a Connex container. Anyway, but I was watching Kenobi, the Boys. Oh, the Boys season 3 is great. Like that's a fun show. It does remind me, like, back in the 80s and 90s, there was this trajectory of movies and television shows that were quite mature. Like the storylines were very mature. the acting was great, and it was believable. And the boys kind of reminds me of like that arc, like things being very graphic. I mean, just look at Seven. Seven is one of the best movies I think that you can watch. So much so that like Kevin Spacey's character doesn't even come into frame. Like you don't even know who he is until 30 minutes into the movie. You know what I mean? And like you don't even miss him. Like when you're watching it, you're just like, man, whoever's doing this is horrible. The story of the police officers, the detectives, and like the things that they're doing, like the killings and like the torture, like you're like, man, they were just a good movie. And that's kind of what I'm saying is that like that was abandoned, like in the 80s and 90s, like early 2000s. I feel like that was abandoned, and a lot of TV shows became a lot cleaner. And then you kind of had that go back with let's just, oh, no, 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 I need to turn you off. You turn off self-driving. How do I do that? You turn off self-driving. Perfect. Done. Lovely. I'll let you. Yeah, that's gonna happen. Cool. Let me go over here to this. Boop. Look at all the computers just lined up waiting. We have so many computers. We have a whole Connex full of computers. We have computers down here. I'm happy that we put a lot of time and effort into building computers. They're just sitting out here in the sun. It stinks though that we can't iron out this place over here and get it working. Although we are trying our best. We are trying our best. Oh, well, that's fun. Hey, look at that. We're producing a lot of aluminum. Oh, we're missing silicon now. We're producing enough aluminum, but we're missing silicon production. And this only goes over there if it's overflow, right? Correct. Only goes over there if it's overflow. So here, we might need to open up another silicon manufacturer. Okay. Do we have enough? We do. We have a ton of raw quartz coming in. That's great. Okay. So, go ahead and build a couple of these. Maybe 2 more. Let's build 2 more and let's get some silicon production going. And then we'll just ship it down the line right here, and we'll have it merge into that one. So production, a constructor. There's the in and out. Then we'll just do 2 more. Don't want to rock the boat here at all. Logistics. And then split. Boop. Boop. But The Boys. The Boys is a good television show. I like it a lot. Like it a lot. It's almost like South Park for adults. Even though South Park is pretty much for adults as it is. But you know what I'm saying. You don't have to feel guilty about watching The Boys. And then you kind of feel guilty about watching South Park. Yeah, I do. I work with a very conservative. Oh no. I work in a very conservative atmosphere, and I haven't watched South Park in a very long time. Some other episodes I thought were very hilarious, even though they could be quite vulgar. Probably not the best thing. I do need to have a little bit of room to put in the merging blocks, but I also need to figure out how to hook that into... Maybe just do this then. Do a merger block there. Can you make that turn? You can, but it looks like trash. So we'll rip that up. And I go back just one. Sorry about that. Let's see, auto save, then merge. But what else was I watching? I was watching Kenobi. Gave up on that. Was watching The Boys. Thought that was great. And then there was something else I started to watch. I couldn't quite finish it. Or couldn't. I don't get to watch all the deals, all the episodes. I can't remember why. I can't remember. It was I was watching 3 television shows, and then one of them, and all of them kind of turned off at the same time. The Boys, you have to wait until Friday to get the new episode. Hey, what's going on here? Where it's a merger, guys. It's a merger. It should be easy as cake. Wow. Okay. One more time. Merge. Is that gonna be better? You don't like that? It likes that much better. Okay, great. I'll give you 49 of those. You just spit them all out. That'll get us into some aluminum for a little bit. And all that get out of the system. Okay. Let all that get out of the system. Come on. Now we'll see what it looks like. 1, 2, 3. Where's 4? Oh my goodness, we were only making 1 silicon? Really? Wow, we were making crystals for everything else. We were only making 1 silicon. Okay. There we go. That looks great. I wonder if now we've kind of sorted out that problem. I highly doubt it because, let's just do the math. Let's just do the math. Let's just figure out how many this is going to require or how much this is making. You were making 37 times 3. And what do you require? You require 75. Wow. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we are going to need so much silicon. It's not even funny. This is not funny. This is not a laughing matter. This is quite serious. Wow. I understand. Oh, we didn't go check our new recipe. I was fixing to say, now I understand why I've seen some recipes for silicon where you get gobs of silicon. I was like, why? Like, why do you even care about silicon? Like, is that a... You don't need it that much? Not a big deal? You do. You need tons of silicon if you want to make tons of aluminum. This is how the game gets you, man. This is how the game gets you. Okay. Just because we didn't have any silicon production at all. What is this? Oh, we're out of... Okay, so you get the nice conveyor belts. We're out of the other conveyor belts. We're gonna give you the nice ones. We get back up to the big base, which we have to go back up there because, you know, we didn't hit the button for the research. Bunch of splitters and a bunch of mergers. No doubt you heard my phone going off. I need to check that, so I'll get this going. Then I'll check my phone here. Probably should check it first in case there's anything wrong with the baby. Gotta make sure she's good. Alright, let's make sure everything's okay. Yep. Yep, we're good. Don't do this, don't crash. Silica, and silica. I can't believe that thing takes 75. minutes. Every one of those things we have over there takes 2 of these. 2 of these and some change. So it's gonna be a big deal. We're using that quartz crystal now, I'll tell you though. Using that quartz crystal now. I'll probably go ahead and just zoom that along. Just so it doesn't, just so it, like, you know, it cleans it up and gets it out of there quicker. Not that I think it will, but just to help. I mean, it looks dumb not having all of it like that, so let's just go ahead and do all of it. There we go. Perfect. That's a more. I mean that's a good amount going in. That's a good amount going in. We really don't need the aluminum right now. Like we're producing. I mean, we need the aluminum for these guys over here. So they can make the radio control units, but we really don't need. Oh, thank goodness too. Like we're not even needing that much aluminum. Because that right there's filled up. I don't even know what to do with the aluminum sheets yet. Like it's not used in anything. So all those ingots are just being used over here for that. There we go. If we can keep these things going at full bore, these 3 going at full bore, then we'll be happy. And it looks like everything's going well. Perfect. It'd be nice if you'd back up, though. It'd be nice if you had so many silicons on hand that backed up. I feel like that's happening. I feel like it is going to eventually. It's a manifold. Like we're going to build pressure here for this one, then it goes to that one, and so forth and so on. Okay, so this area here, after a little update, a little bit of tweaking, it's doing better. We have way more aluminum casings coming out than we did before. We're using some of the computers that we're shipping down here. Some of those oscillators are being used as well. How many of those plates do you need? You need 40 a minute. Wow. Okie dokie. Anyway. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna grab a couple of these. I think we need this to build the drones. Where is the drone? There it is. A drone port. Oh, it needs the casings too. So it needs, yeah, okay. We'll grab some of the casings. We'll grab one more stack of that, and then, do you have any casings? You do. I'm gonna grab your casings. Cool, now we can build, and what about drones? They need AI limiters and resource gatherers. And we have tons of AI limiters up at the other base. We're good there. Now let's go up here and see if we can export some of this copper. I know copper is kind of needed over here. Like I know we're using it for a lot of things, and that taking the copper from here is going to be kind of a... Well, actually, no. It won't be, because we have tons and tons of ingots being made. So this will be okay. This is not going to impact the line that much. Let's go ahead and send... I don't have a lot of those. I do have a ton of this stuff, though. All right, let's go ahead and send this out. Do we want to be cool and have the 5 go down here like that? Have it go out? We'll try. That means we'd have to upgrade that, though, to a level 5, just to make it fit. Okay, and then that one goes out. You can hit the button and you go to like an auto rotate. So even if you lose power and you're super duper high up, you don't die, which I think is cool. Man, when I was a little kid and I figured out, and like my dad told me about that auto rotation, I had to tell everybody. Did you know that sometimes helicopters, even if they run out of gas, they won't crash because they can auto rotate and land? Every adult within like 20 miles, I'm sure, was sick and tired of me telling them about that. When I was a kid, that's all I wanted to do was I wanted to fly pilots I wanted to fly helicopters for the Coast Guard. That's what I wanted to do, man. All those those Sea Stallion helicopters they had, and then their version of the Black Hawks with that orange and white on it. That'd be the coolest job in the world for a boat to be sinking somewhere. For them to call me and to come over there and fly that plane, fly that helicopter. Have that crew chief, you know, that would be lowered down out of the side of the door. Oh, that would be so cool. So cool. And my dad, I mean, my dad's a great guy, and he had, he had my best interests at heart, but nothing was ever good enough. Anytime I was like, yeah, I want to go do that for a living, he'd be like, nah, no, you don't. I said, you don't want to do that. It doesn't pay enough. You know, he'd always come up with something. He'd always come up with some reason why it wasn't a good job. It was annoying. I'm out of cable. I have cable here, though. I make cable here. That's so cool. Let me go here and grab that. I think it's hilarious how this thing throws us out in that little hole in one. It's like we're going to get over here and we're going to just... It's just going to throw us right through the bottom of the floor. That's funny to me. Boop. Boop. Here it comes. Get ready. we gotta cover that up. That's not... There we go. That's not healthy. Alright. Get up over here. Where is that? There it is. Gonna take 200 of those. And this goes somewhere. Yeah, it goes out. There it is. So you say, I know that this is used somewhere. Like before, I didn't think it was, but man, how pretty does this look out here? Looks great. I tell you what, I'm also going to go down here and grab some of this stuff, some gunpowder, because I think we're going to have to make more bullets. I want to go ahead and just take one more, so I have to come back down here. Look at that, man. We're not even using all the coal. For as many things that we use coal for, like, we're not even using all of it. It's so good. Let's come over here. Build another freight. Yeah, the input. Then 6. All the way up there. Into here. Boom. Looks great. That. Yeah, I think that's us there. Why does it say... Oh, yeah, input. Okay. Then a freight car. Boop. And then you are going to load those onto the train. Absolutely. Man, we're going to have so many of these things. That's lovely. That's lovely. I can't believe that. Look at all those. The train is great. Alright, train. Get us out of here. Next time we come back, we'll be picking up tons of stuff. So cool. So cool. We need all those copper sheets too, man. We need those copper sheets. And I am going to have to turn off self-driving when I get back up there. Just because I think if you take off the rail, like if it's not a complete circuit, then it messes up the train. So we get back up there, we'll turn off self-driving. We'll put the other platform. We'll build it, and then we'll have the unload protocol for the copper. We'll hook the copper into the system for the probably just for the circuits. Just on that you know, I'm not going to call it the main bus because we have like 4 or 5 different buses, but I'm going to hook it in where I hooked the plastic in, right where the plastic got hooked into. I'm going to put it in there so that copper sheet kind of directly goes toward making the circuit boards. Already played Outer Worlds today. This is my second video. Only got one more video to make. Every day I'm trying to make 3 videos. That way when we go on the trip, it's a vacation within a vacation. I know, we're so spoiled. But last time we were in Napa Valley, it was this safari hotel that we got to drive past, and I thought it was so cool. And they have these little tents set up where you can sleep inside the giraffe enclosure. So you're sleeping in a tent, and the giraffes are walking around, and they have a baby giraffe right now. And in the morning when you wake up, they deliver like a cheese, fruit, and croissant platter. So I thought it'd be so cool if, because my daughter, you know, she's young, she likes animals. I thought it'd be so cool to have that giraffe encounter. So we're gonna go do that trip. While I'm gone for that trip, I don't want to have to worry about making a bunch of videos. Go ahead and turn it off right. Actually, you know what? Let it come in here and do its thing. Because I'm going to need that car to get out of the way. That picks up the computers. That picks up the modular frames. Drops off the modular frames. Boop boop. There the modular frames go into the system. Turn off the self-driving part of it. Come to a stop. Come out here, rip up that piece of track. Put in another station, right jar. Is it facing the right way? It is, perfect. And then 6. Lovely. I'll go ahead and tell the train to go. And then by the time that it gets back, we'll have that whole back part over here situated. And all you gotta do is come over here and click the unload button. So now instead of trying to load stuff, it will unload stuff. And even if I don't get this hooked up, it'll still unload. Ooh. I utilize this. Perfect. Yeah, this is great. Probably should have it doubled up. You know what I mean? Like a little, the over under, like the trellises or whatever they're called. I can do that here. Logistics. Stackable conveyor belt is what I mean to call it. Goes there. Goes there. Put one all the way over here. Then I'll hook it in right down there. Logistics and a merge block. Perfect. And that's a really cool thing about this game, is that no one's factory is going to look the same. You know, you might build in the same place. Are these 7? Yeah, I don't have enough resources to do it all on 7. You might build in the same place and your buildings might look the same. Like I stole that design down there from a guy on the internet because I thought it was just a really good design. But it doesn't mean that you're going to do everything the same. Oh, look at that. I put that right in front of my boom tube. Let's go ahead and move that before it. Nah, it needs to go. There it is. Perfect. There and to there. Cool. So now we're going to be importing some copper sheets, and that should not be a huge problem anymore. Now, before I forget, let's take that boom tube. Let's go look at our new recipe, and let's put the other hard drive in before I forget. And then we'll go grab some AI limiters. I know I had 100 of them in my pocket and I destroyed them, but let's go grab some AI limiters just because we need those to make drones. And it'd be cool to build a couple of drones. Yoink. Okay. So, oh my goodness. Heavy modular frame, heavy flexible frame. So we're using tubes. Okay, so this is going to save us 4 screws. It's going to increase the amount of encased beams, and we're going to start using rubber instead of pipe. Well, we're not really using the pipe to do a lot of stuff right now, so I don't really care about that. I don't really care about diluted whatever. And this one, using rubber and quick wire, I really don't think I'm going to be using quick wire to make cable. So I think of the 3, I'm going to go ahead and grab that one, even though I really don't want it. But there we go. And we'll put the other hard drive in there. And in 10 minutes from now, hopefully we'll get something a little bit better than what we just got. Okay. What do I want to do now? I need to get the computer thing sorted out. Yeah, the computer thing needs to get sorted out. It does. It does. I was thinking of something else too. I can't remember what it was. The plastic is looking fine, but definitely we are starved on copper plate. We are starved on copper plate. Okay. Let's go ahead and just start working up here, because that should be done. Like we have the infrastructure now to start making a ton of computers, and we want to start making supercomputers. We want to have a line that makes supercomputers, even if we're only producing like 4 or 5 a minute. 4 or 5 a minute. I think that might be too much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 3. Yeah, we can do one right here. Because we're going to come out up the back side. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there comes the train. I don't see the copper plates on the back. I don't see copper plates on the back. Why weren't they picked up? Why weren't they picked up? This is the unload. Load. Incoming. We'll ride down there and we'll see what's happening. Thought we were beyond this train. I thought we trusted each other. I thought that we could work together here to make things do. Was I mistaken? Was I mistaken, train? Definitely have to turn this thing off of auto drive right before it hits the station. Everything should be fine. It has the copper. Oh. What are the stations called? Your hamburger station? Load only. Add an item. Load. Beats. And then save, and then here you are to unload copper sheets. Okay. Not only do you have to tell the individual stations to, or the individual freight stations to load and unload, but you also have to communicate to to the schedule, to the train itself, to load and unload things. It's quite odd. I think they do that because you might have the same track. And yeah, so they probably do it because this is one train on one track, but imagine if we had two trains on this track where for whatever reason another train peels off and goes off in that direction. That train might want to load and unload things at another station and bring it back to the home station and load and unload things at the home station. But it doesn't want to get them confused. So that's probably why that is. Probably because you might have more than one train on one track. At first I thought it was a little redundant. I thought it was... Look at the... that light is now on. I noticed that the light was off when we were at the other base, but now that light is on. I'll show you what light I'm talking about. It's a square light at the top. Oh, it didn't load. I thought we were beyond this. Why? Are you not clicked over to load? You are on load. This is Hamburger Station, right? Why didn't we load on Hamburger Station? It vanished. Add an item. Copper sheet. Hit the save button. At Hamburger Station, I want you to load only copper sheet and modular frame. Save that. Okay. Here. Unload. Copper sheet. Save. Okay. Okay. Why did we not do that? I'm gonna pause the video here, and I want to make sure that I don't bore you to death riding the rails. I'll pause it and I'll bring it back. I'm gonna try to pause it. Okay, I'm just gonna bring you back right here. I'll double check. Look at that, it did it again. Why is it turning that off, I wonder? Oh no. Now the frames. Load only? Hold on. Dang it. God dang it. Turn off self-driving. We are at Hamburger Station, right? Yes, we are at Hamburger Station. Edit the timetable. Current timetable. Hamburger Station. Hamburger Station. Edit Hamburger Station. I want you to load copper sheet when you go to Hamburger Station. That's all I want you to do. I want you to load that up. Why do you keep kicking that out? Like, why does it keep like turning that off? It's on load. It's toggled to load. We have them here. We have the car ready to go. Very, very, very annoying. Back up. It already has in the books that it's went to this station. Okay, the next station it says is going to be that. So if we turn on the self-driver, it's going to go all the way back up. It's going to go all the way back up. So I turn on self-driving. Can I tell it to just bypass this station? No, I cannot. You piece of shit. This game and its trains, man. It's turned it off again. It has turned it off again. Like it refuses. It refuses to load. It refuses to load those copper sheets. They're there. It just is like, no, I'm not going to load them. God, that's annoying. All right, I'm going to have to pause you again. Okay, so I think I figured it out. So I was editing the timetables, right? And I was coming up here, and I was coming in here, and I was hitting the button save, right? I was coming up here, and I was hitting the button save. I was coming over here, doing this, hitting the button save. But then I wasn't hitting the button down here that said save changes. So I'm not quite sure why you would save here, and then you would save here, but then you have to save here. But now I think we have it figured out. And again, I'm going to put this on pause, and that way you don't have to watch it go all the way up and come all the way back. But the next time we're at the station down south, I shouldn't be cussing. I shouldn't be. All right, here we go. Just going to double check one more time. It should be loading in the copper sheets that are made down here, just like it loads in the small frames that are made down here, and then it should be unloading them at the north. Okie dokie. Let's see if all three of these are going to spring into action this time. Aha. No reason to be upset. No reason to be upset. Everything is fine. Trade between the two outposts is thriving. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Although there will be a day in the very near future, I think, that we're delivering more computers than it can possibly use. So I think we're going to get a backup on computers. But I'm happy to see that we actually have the copper sheets now coming up north. This is going to help us achieve high efficiency on the circuit board production, which will in turn allow us to get high efficiency on computer production and then supercomputer production. Ugh, that was painful. I rode this train like 900 times. I mean, you had to save in each individual menu, and then you had to save in the other menu. Like, it just didn't make any sense. Like, it's like 3 different saves. I wonder what the nationality of the people who made this game are. They got to be German. They've got to be German. I say German because it's efficient, but it's brutal. Ooh, maybe it's not efficient. Maybe they're Swiss. I know. As I have a Swiss timepiece on my wrist, I talk about how inefficient they are. They're precise. You can be precise, but inefficient. I just want to make sure this unloads, and then I get back to... Oh, the videos are an hour long. Okay, so that'll be it for this video. You can't just do something higher up. Like you can't just get computer production higher up. You have to make sure you have the plastic. You got to make sure you have the copper. Like there's a million things you got to make sure that you have before you can just jump into the computer production. And some of you out there have already noticed it. Yeah, this is a lot of copper sheet, but it's not going to be enough because the copper sheet production we have down south is what, 2? We have 2. We have 2 factories down there making copper sheet. So what we really should do before we fix the computer problem up here proper is we probably should take another trip down south and expand copper sheet production down there. But for right now, this will do. I'm tired of riding the train. And we got the research done on our new recipe, so I'd like to go see what that is. All right, now unload these copper sheets, please, and thank you. There they go. Perfect. All right, I'm done with the train for a little bit. Turn that off. How many are in there, by the way? going to tell me? Come on, let me see. Oh, mini. Mini are in there. Perfect. All those computer circuit board manufacturers are desperately need the copper. So let's watch that copper come in. I think what, maybe 2 are running at any one time, and maybe 3. I felt like we expanded copper sheet production too, but I guess we didn't move it over here. All right. So what does this one need? That one just needs about 80 more copper sheets till it's saturated. 15 per minute. It's definitely getting way more than 15 a minute. Nine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now it should back up. Perfect. Perfect. And now this one should start backing up. We only got 50. That's going to take a while for it to build up pressure. There we go. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay, so that's going to be it for this video. Thank you folks for watching. Have a great day. I will see you in the next one. Ooh.